Hey everybody, Run342 here with another Warframe gameplay, and today we'll be looking at the new Saryn changes that came out recently. I personally think this is a really well-needed change for Saryn, as now I feel it's kind of really, I would say mandatory, but it's not. But in my personal opinion, I think Saryn is now ideal for defense situations, as well as other objective type modes. This change is amazing. Let me tell you why. First off, what I really do not see, but you may if you're a very stat number type of person in Warframe, her armor has changed and has been increased. So regular Saryn, which you will see in this video, her armor used to be 175, now it's at 225 at max rank, which is 30. And Saryn Prime's armor has been increased from 225 to 300 at rank 30. So armor changes real good. She can take more damage. Spore. Her ability Spore, Molt, Toxic Lash, and Miasma. My personal opinion, Spore, actually all of them are incredibly amazing. Right now, Spore is top damage for here in my personal opinion. This is why. In the video, you'll see when I cast Spore, a timer in the bottom left. Tells you how many people are infected, and the multiplier of how much damage you're doing. So, the number goes up and up. I test first with just heavy gunners at level 50. Then I kicked it up a notch with Eximus primed bombards at level 100. And let me tell you, those bombards did not survive when the timer finally hit 1000. Spore now does not have a timer. It will stay on your target as long as it's alive. And the damage, instead of it being viral, is now corrosive, which all of us should know is one of the best, if not the best, status damage to all enemies. Now, this is what the description says for Spore. Spore now has infinite duration and escalating damage. That means that the duration of Spore is determined by the enemy affected. If enemies are dying to spores, the spores will continue to spread. Also, the longer your Spore deals damage, the more your damage will grow. Spore's damage type has now been swapped from viral to corrosive, making it a great tool against highly armored enemies. Eximus, heavy gunners, bombards. Now, I did say it was like a multiplier. To be honest, that was an assumption. I'm not sure if that's a multiplier or just the damage being dealt, but as you can see in the video with the numbers popping up with the corrosive damage, it increases as the timer goes up, as well as once you shoot a spore and it spreads to other enemies. In a little description down there where the timer is, it also tells you how many people were affected. So it's really good, and it stays on the target. It's infinite. It's great. I love this thing. Molt. Now Molt has had a change actually. Recently, all you would do with Molt is use it, put your spores on it, shoot your spores to infect other enemies, and then just kill the enemies as they're distracted by your Molt. Well, now, you can't do that with Molt. You cannot use your first ability, Spore, on your Molt. You cannot. So, to compensate this change, they have given you a speed boost once you use Molt. It's for a limited time only. Once you use it, you have a speed boost, and you can run away or do whatever you like. And there's also now a timer on the top of your screen where you have your ability timers. Up there's a number that determines the strength, or I would say the life, of your Spore. Similar to how Iron Skin works on a Rhino, that it has a timer when you use it. Once it hits 0 or your Iron Skin is gone. Same thing with the Molt. So you cannot cast Spore on your Molt, but you get a speed boost once you cast it. It will end, but once you cast it, you get a speed boost. For me, it was like 5 seconds. And it has a life boost. So once the life runs out of the ability, just like the Iron Skin of a Rhino, the Molt will explode and deal damage to surrounding enemies. That's Molt. Toxic Lash. I always found this ability to be useless to Saryn, because I don't really use melee with Toxic Lash. Only melee I do use is the Zenny Star. Well, man, I am wrong. This new change has made Toxic Lash one of my primary abilities to use besides Spore. The least one I use is, I guess, Miasma. but let me tell you why. Excuse me, I got a little bit of allergies. Toxic Lash before, when you cast it, you would only get a corrosive effect on your melee weapon, and there's a augment mod that lets all your other squad mates have it too. But now Toxic Lash will give you that boost, that toxic boost to all your weapons. So your pistol, your primary weapon, and well, not pistol, but your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, and your melee. This is the description. Toxic Lash was one of the abilities we felt was underutilized while playing Saryn. Yes, it was. We wanted to make Toxic Lash more compatible with a variety of playstyles. So in the latest rework, Toxic Lash will apply to primary and secondary weapons as well as melee. In addition, Toxic Lash duration has been increased from 45 seconds, and weapons will trigger the Toxic status effect. So, if you do not have Corrosive or a type of status effect on your weapon, you can use Toxic Lash and it'll give you that added status of Toxic to it. So, Toxic Lash, pretty good. It's good for extra damage if you don't have a poison effect, and if you just want to add it to slowly melt the enemy down by giving them poison damage, it's the way to go, and it works on all weapons now, which is great. Lastly, Miasma. The damage has been swapped from corrosive to viral, and I don't really like that much, but hey, there's a catch to this. Since that was the downfall, here's the pro. And the damage increased from 350 to 500, so a boost to damage with a different status effect. Not bad. Miasma also has a 100% chance guaranteed viral status on damage. There you go. You will be instantly hit with viral status. Miasma's duration has been increased to 3 seconds and deals double damage to targets affected by spores. Your spore is doing a ton of damage right now. You might as well accept this change, because you're even giving them more damage, plus another status effect, so they'll have corrosive and viral on them, while they're taking massive amounts of damage, since spore does not run out. That's pretty amazing. It says here, Saryn will also receive an audio rework with new vocalizations when she casts to add more character and depth to the audio. I was expecting someone talking. It says here D.E. Danielle. I was expecting someone talking, just like in the trailers we get. But no one's talking. It's just Saryn making her grunting noises. So I guess the grunting noises is more of a feminine grunt. I do not know. I cannot tell. So I was really expecting a voice, but it's not really a voice. It's just what it's just when she casts the ability to hear the sound effect. That's pretty much what it is. Unless when you take damage, you hear something. But I've not taken damage, as you can see in this video. I have the enemy paused just to test it damage-wise. But that's Saryn's changes. I really like this, and I'll be using her more because of these changes. I'm very curious to see the other Warframe changes, how they can implement it, because this is an amazing change, in my opinion, for Saryn. But that's it for now. That's all the time I have now. Hope you do enjoy the video, and if you do, please let me know your comments. I'm not going to ask you to like or subscribe. That's totally your choice. I don't really make videos very frequently, but when something like this happens, I do. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I am Rhino 342, and hope you guys have a good one. Take care.